week?
Yeah, we need to do away with the opening statements on Thursday.
Okay.
You know exactly what I want to say. Essentially, the same thing every week. I do like the way our team has prepared this week. I felt like their attention to detail and their focus has been heightened a bit. I think they're tired of leaving plays on the field. It's not a matter of who we're playing. It's always a matter of us executing to the best of our ability. And there's been some really good things, and there's been some sloppy play. And I think the players are, have done a better job this week of really focusing and trying to improve. So we're putting the wraps on it here tomorrow and getting on the bus and ready to head that way.
Questions?
Not to say that they wouldn't already take Vandy seriously, but with the result last year, do you think that got their attention even more so?
I do, yeah. I do, and I think they know that they could watch them play, and I said it last year, and it's not that they didn't listen to me, it's just we didn't play good enough. I watched them. I watched them on film. I watched the way they're coached. I watch how hard they play, and they're coming off a tough loss. I'm sitting there, I'm sure they're sitting there saying, what did we leave on the field? Because they have it at every opportunity to win that game, and that's a team with a lot of pride. That's the coach does a great job, and they're gonna be ready to go. Believe me, they can't be happy with that result, and so they're going to be very focused. And they beat us a year ago, so we just got to go play to the best of our ability.
With AJ still on and some of those big receivers, what kind of problems do they pose you guys?
They present a lot of problems to a lot of people. They're throwing it for I said 288 or almost 290 yards a game, and they have wideouts that can run. They have wideouts with size. Their QB's playing at a very high level. I think they have a lot of confidence.
Brian talked yesterday about JJ. If he just lets the game come to him, those big plays will eventually come. How have you seen him kind of with that throughout these first?
Yeah, I think that's you've heard me talk a lot about that through preseason in the first 3 games. Not just him, but a lot of players. They if you're a running back, not in a selfish way, but they've worked hard. They've trained. If you're a running back, they want the ball. They want to go score. If you're a wideout, you want the ball. If you're a D lineman, they want sacks and tackles for losses, and everybody wants it all. But it's a fundamental game. If you do the little things, big things are going to happen. And and if you do the little things, big things aren't so big. You can overcome a mistake if you're constantly doing the little things right. And so that's always the attention to detail that those guys need to play with.
I think you got a winning record the last 6 or 7 years in these SEC openers. What does that kind of do for you to kind of set the tone for the rest of them?
Honestly, no disrespect. Nothing. That. I didn't know that. I don't know that. I have no clue. You know what I mean? I always just one game at a time, and that's not coach speak. You know what I mean? We do learn from our mistakes. We learn from things we do right, things we do wrong. Try to educate ourselves on travel and different things. You know what I mean? Because we're in a lot of unique situations, whether you're traveling to places that are challenging, Mississippi, and this week the situation with their stadium. It's just different. You have to adapt and do the best you can and grow and make sure you're putting them in the right spot. So it's not that I don't use history to try to help us, but last year's season opener in the SEC means absolutely nothing right now.
A little bit of a different twist to it. Do you get the sense that your guys know it's kind of go time when league play does get here?
I think when league play gets here, I don't know whether it was because league play was here. I don't know if it's because they beat us last year. I don't know if they're just tired of leaving plays on the field, but I'm glad that their focus has picked up. It's been a more consistent week. And I felt like they were better the last couple of weeks, but it just, the result hasn't always been there, the consistency that we need.
Yeah, we've seen a little more of Demi and a little more of Ramon Jefferson. How are those guys coming along?
Yeah, I think they're both really good players. We've talked a lot about them, the snaps, the situation, the way the game's flowed, but you're going to see them at some point. You're going to see them making some big plays. And so, they've been practicing really hard and putting themselves in a position, and I think eventually you're going to see that on the field.
Have you had your conversation with Ray? You said take about 3 minutes and talk to him.
Not yet. No, not yet. I mean, Ray's a mature kid. I mean, he knows. He's got to. He learned that a week ago. You know what I mean? Play with it. He's a very good football player, and he's very conscientious. Play within, play the way Ray could play, and that's good. And just has to do that.
What's maybe the biggest difference you're going to see from playing Akron now to playing Vanderbilt? Change of pace, or?
Well, it's first road game is obviously the first situation that's different. The second thing is that it's going to be the first stadium we've played in when it's to have torn apart. So that's the first time we've done that since I've been here, and it's the first game in the SEC to a team that beat us a year ago. So I think that hopefully will give our teams, the total attention that they deserve.
Say you pull some cranes up out here outside.
No, I don't think we need to simulate all that.
Mark, health-wise, it sounded like Monday there were some things that would be decided during the week. Just how do you feel health-wise with the team going on this?
We're in decent shape for 4 games in, so we're in decent shape. We're not at 100%, but we're in decent shape.
Speaking of health, Vandy's coming into the game a little bit banged up with some injuries on their team. Does that really change your preparation?
No, it doesn't. I think they'll have a few guys back, and a couple other questionable. It is what it is. It doesn't really change our prep too much. They're not going to alter too much what they do. I think maybe a couple of their corners will be back. I'm sure they'll be welcome back into their group, but they play very hard. They do a lot of. They're fairly multiple. What they do in the back end, especially if you get you in predictable pass. So we got to try to be effective there.